referring to it.
Ghost ban as well. Yeah, you got ghost
Yeah,
ban,
exactly. So when I
hilarious.
say when I say shadow ban, I meant ghost ban. I don't know if he was shadow banned as well. Now the mistake apparently was they were cracking down on bots, and obviously there's a glitch or something. Now my question for you, Matt, do you think that was intentional, or do you think that was purely a glitch? I'm leaning towards the second one, but I would love your take on it. What being a glitch? The suspending you. So if you retweeted a tweet, maybe the algorithm thought you tweeted it, or someone spotted they thought you tweeted it, so it was a mistake, I, and they suspended you for that reason. I don't think it was a glitch because I was included with those 9 individuals. I was always included with them. I'm not talking about the press. I mean, in how Elon Musk was referring to it. He asked, "Do you want me to suspend the journalists who he says doxed him?" And when people voted yes, I was unsuspended immediately alongside Yeah. Donnie, So I Ron, mean, and Matt. didn't you retweet? Didn't you say you retweeted a tweet that doxed Elon, or did I No, misunderstand? no, no. I don't. This is pure speculation because I don't. Listen, when you retweet something, you don't remember that the same you do as when you actually tweet your own thought. I'm just assuming, being that there's a missing tweet on my account that I can't recall posting. I'm assuming it must have been something I retweeted because it's more likely I would forget something that I just clicked a single button to hit, to retweet for. Than Isn't there a website? But isn't there a website that tracks every account and all the tweets and retweets they've made?
Only if you're listed on there. Like if there's a bot
Oh,
tracking you, there should be an easy way to check it. But
I,
I don't know if Matt Binder's on that site. Like if Pulitzer
I don't,
Whoops
I don't,
lists a bunch of
I
people.
don't think I am. You could check.
So
I checked
I'm looking on his feed. One sec.
Internet
It
Archive.
looks like the tweet violated the Twitter rules one. It looks like it's attached to the quoted tweet of the LAPD statement. It doesn't look like it's a separate
It
tweet unless I'm reading it
it
wrong, but it looks like it's attached to that
it
tweet.
does look like that, but that's the message you see when they remove a tweet. Like the tweet is supposed to appear there. That message usually appears in place of the tweet. Like the tweet gets removed and that message replaces where the tweet once sat. I've had a lot of people send me that screenshot saying it looks like it's attached to the Donnie quote tweet. I mean the Donnie screenshot. Um, I mean it should be removed. No, am I wrong to think that's what should have happened? So why do you think? My last question to you, Matt. Why do you think you were suspended? I really don't know. I wish I had an answer. I've been saying I would love for them to tell me. I mean, I think it's important for me to know, if not even just for me. I think everyone should know what got each of these journalists suspended so they don't make the same mistake. I mean, it is Elon Musk's platform. Like I'm still like I haven't like gone about face on what I think about how platforms are able to run because it happened to me like some people would assume. Um, when other people get suspended, I mean, it sucks. I agree. That's not how I would run a platform, but I'm not running Twitter. So that's their rules. That's what who they choose to suspend. Same thing with Musk. He's running it. He paid the money for it. I think you can call him out for saying he's going to run it one way and running it another way because that's hypocritical. I don't think he's talking out of both sides of his mouth when he says he's running a free speech, transparent platform and he's doing the opposite. I think you could call him out for that and say, that's a lie. But he can basically do whatever he wants. If he wants to suspend me, he could do that. So why do you think? By the way, for other panelists, I'm just spending a bit extra time with Matt just because he has to jump off for an interview in a bit. So we thought we'll get his take and then we'll jump to other panelists. So I've got another question for you, Matt. You said that Elon's talking, it kind of contradicting himself in terms of being more transparent. Why? What makes you say that? Well, let's just take this recent example. I'm not even talking about my suspension. Let's look at the Elon Jet account, and the creator Jack Sweeney, his own account got suspended. Elon basically said last month that he was fine with the account being up. He didn't like it, but in order to roll out what he believes to be a free speech platform, an account like Elon Jet should exist if it wants to. And then now, fast forward to this week, he decided to suspend the Elon Jet account, all of Jack Sweeney's other accounts, including his own personal account. And then he rolls out the new rules about location based data. Now, Elon Musk is welcome to change his mind. He's welcome to say last month, Elon Jet is fine, and this month, I don't like it anymore. But if you're running a
with
transparent,
good reason, right? With good reason,
I mean,
right?
I,
I'll
go.
Yeah.
I've
I've got a couple
I,
of points. I know what you're going to say, Ian. Go ahead,
I
Matt.
think that's completely moot because again, he even if he doesn't have a good reason, who cares? He's the owner of the platform. He can change his mind and do this whenever he'd like. But if he wants to run a fair platform, how do you suspend an account for rules that you claim they violated that didn't even exist yet? Those rules about
So,
location-based data did not exist until hours after the Elon Jet account was
I don't
suspended.
agree with
So
that
Ian, yeah,
because,
so Ian, yeah, I'll
yeah,
let you answer that one because I know what you said. You said differently earlier. You said that the rules were always there, the doxing
the
rules.
rules are always there. Exactly, yeah. The doxing rules are always there. They were simply not clarified. So he added the clarification there to include it. And it's quite a surprise that the old Twitter administration didn't actually crack down on Elon Jet when they actually should have.
No,
So
see,
I'll
no, see,
actually
that's
I'll
not
actually lead to
that's but
this.
that's but that's
Go on,
but
Matt.
that's bullshit to say that because clearly, if a rule needs clarification, that means it's up to the administration in charge to decide how to rule on that particular, that particular policy. And obviously, the previous administration decided that the Elon Jet account did not break the policy as they interpreted it. If Elon Musk wants to interpret it differently, he needs to let people know. It's fine if he wants to, but he needs to let people know. Otherwise, the transparent Twitter that he's claiming it is absolute bullshit, and there's no other way you could argue that.
So Ian, do you mind sending me if someone can send me Ian, you've got my WhatsApp. If you can send me that the terms, how they were and how they've become, I'd love to read it out for the audience. Matt, I've got two questions, and I think this is important, Matt, because Elon. By the way, Ian, you've got a bit of feedback sound. Elon's in a tricky position because it's just that he's. I would say he is being transparent in some ways, Matt, but jumping into spaces, answering questions. We had Mark Andreessen here, and he said, Mario, everything that Elon's telling you guys, it's exactly the same stuff we discussed behind the scenes, and we tell him to stop talking about these things openly. So in some ways, being transparent. But what you're saying in that, maybe in this case, he acted a bit out of emotions because it involved his family, and
He absolutely
that kind
did.
of
I mean,
overruled.
he absolutely did. That's exactly what happened. Again, it's understandable, but it goes contrary to how he claims he's going to run the
I understand.
platform. Yeah.
And it's a fair point. So I want to kind of stress on this point a bit further. Would you say that doxing someone's live location is a risk?
If you're doxing someone's live location as if you're tracking the actual person, then yes, I would agree. But that's not what the Elon Jet account does. It tracks the airplane.
So okay, fair point. But it tracks the airplane knowingly when Elon is using it. It's Elon's private airplane, so he's only using it. Is there anyone else that uses that plane?
Well, he said it himself that he wasn't with his family when apparently this thing happened that he says has happened. And he's how would he have been?
So would you say that's would you agree that's a bit murky? So you make a point like he's tracking the plane, not Elon personally, but it could be interpreted as if it's Elon's plane and he's using private data. Elon tweeted in one of Elon's tweets, he said you cannot you cannot track the plane with publicly available information. So that kind of changes things because he's getting private information, which Elon paid not to disclose the location of his jet. To be able to check.
I can't argue the specific point because I'm not a aviation expert, but from what I understand, these are things that are said, even like that private number that he uses. These are numbers that are used over these airwaves that are open for anyone to listen to. So apparently it's openly shared. It just makes it a little bit harder for someone to find out, but it is still out there.
I'll add one last point and then I'll go to other panelists. So I just do want to, and you do confirm that having someone's exact location live is a risk. So if, for example, when I travel, I'll give you an example. When I travel, there's some countries when I travel to, because I'm deep in crypto, and in crypto, you know how a lot of people get kidnapped because of the private key, etc. Some countries I travel to, I always travel anonymously. I book a hotel anonymously. That's a fee, that's an option you have in some hotels. So they don't disclose your name to anybody that asks. You don't exist.
And you can still track it though. If you know where to look and you know who to ask, you can still track.
Yeah, so
that's the issue with it. Yeah, so it's like it's publicly available if you know the right people, right? And that's exactly what Elon Jet was essentially doing.
But Matt, would you say that? Go ahead.
I was going to say, me personally, what I find to be the important part of Elon Jet. I honestly never really looked at it didn't interest me. I'm not someone who's interested in aviation and where Elon Musk is traveling to and from. To me, the interesting part about Elon Jet is how often he flies and how far that is. Because to me, the point of calling that out is that here's a guy who makes his money off apparently a green friendly company, Tesla, and here he is flying around his private jet all the time. I don't really care where he actually goes. Like, it could be any city, USA, any city worldwide. To me, the interesting thing is how far he travels and how often. So, I mean, to me, I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think is the important, the newsworthiness of the Elon Jet account.
I'm going to read the policy before I go to Ian. Do you mind if I go to Tracy? I know, Tara, if you still want to speak. I know you had your hand up earlier, and you can jump in at any time, Tara. You know, this is your room as much as it's ours. But Tara, Tracy, Tom. Okay, but so I want to say one last thing, and then we go to Tara, Tracy, and Tom, whoever wants to go first. But Matt, I'm going to read out the policy for you, Matt, and let me know if you agree with my conclusion from what I'm about to read out. So this is the policy before Elon added the clarification. That's the first screenshot you sent me, Ian. So the first time you violate